Messaging. Will this be the app that rule them all? Hi, my name is Mark Young, the Technical Officer at ASCA, the Australian Seniors Computer Clubs Association. This talk was originally given at New South Wales Seniors Week 2017 at ASCA's Let's Communicate forum. SMS messaging. This is where it all started. When people had little phones like this Nokia 3310, it was only a 2G phone and it couldn't go to the internet. It used a 9-key keyboard to send plain text SMS messages of up to 160 characters. Trouble is, they could cost more than calls. By 1999, the phone companies had got together and made it possible to send an SMS across networks to any digital phone. These phones could not send photos or connect to the internet. But now we have instant messaging. Smartphones, because they can access the internet, email and send messages by the internet without the cost of SMS or MMS, which is multimedia. Things like the iPhone here, to send a message, it only costs like the price of a email, which is virtually nothing. Messaging has become the most used app on mobile phones, with 561 billion sent each month in 2014. This is what we expect to see on these complicated apps these days. We still want to send SMS and MMS and instant messages, but we also want to send and receive photos and movies. We love little emojis, the little faces that you can put on. Now we're starting to see stickers, big pictures, and GIFs, which are little movies. And we also expect to see voice and video and group chat so that we can talk to more than one person at once, or we can see their face. People use hashtags and search to find things. Hashtags are little things that you use to group what you've written so that other people can find it, often suggested by TV shows, so they can find your particular posting. Works on Android, iPhone, and maybe even you want a computer version. There's masks you can put over your face, filters that can color the picture and sharpen it up, backgrounds different where you really are, things that can change your voice. There's games to play, chat bots where you can have a conversation, helper bots where you can book a hotel room, maybe order groceries, get a taxi, and perhaps retail stores where you can talk to the store and work out what you really want with them. But most importantly, people you know have to use it. If the people you know aren't on that particular one, then you're wasting your time talking to yourself. The most popular apps in the world is WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger, about the same. They're both owned by Facebook. After that comes QQ Mobile and WeChat. They're popular in China and parts of Asia, and they're both owned by a company called Tencent. Then comes Skype, Snapchat, Viber, and Line. We'll talk about some of those later on. In this section, we're going to talk about 9 different popular messaging platforms, and starting off with Apple Messages. It's pretty simple to use. You can only get it on Apple devices, and it can send text with pictures or photos. You can record your voice and record video, but you can't actually have live video. You can send things to Android. They've put on a lot more new graphic tricks now, and some ones that you can't get on other devices apart from iPhone. In these 2 screenshots here, the first one, the message that I've sent saying no problem, is blue because I'm sending to another iPhone. Second screenshot, I'm sending messages to an Android, or somebody that has doesn't have internet service, so that one's sent by SMS and it's green. Instagram. I like this because it's nice and simple. You're basically sharing one photo or a short video of about 15 seconds, making a comment, or not even making a comment if you like. The people who receive them can't save the photos and they're fairly low resolution. People don't usually use it for chat. They just send a picture and people like it, or they might make one comment, but it's not usually a conversation. Often people use hashtags on it. You'll see in this second screenshot there's a little collage. There's a collage app layout that you can use, and it will work with anything, so it's worth having that on your phone even if you don't use Instagram. The thing I like to do with it is look at these hotel sites where they send you pictures of lovely places where you may never go. But I just like to look at these things and imagine I was there. Don't put too many of these on because they'll completely swamp your newsfeed. Twitter. It's probably a little bit more complex than it should be. A lot of people don't make comments on it, they just usually only read it. But it does give you up-to-the-minute news. You can find out things I won't have even reached the television yet. Nowadays it seems to be swamped by media companies, TV stations, the radio stations, and their offshoots. And that it may end up with to be just a news thing. It has a problem with trolls and people being mean and hounding people with nasty comments. So it's got bad publicity because some celebrities dropped out of it. But I find it's really good to find out what happened. This first one, Sydney Storm, that I searched for, I heard that the traffic was bad on Anzac Bridge during this storm, and I could look there and see exactly what was happening that minute. The second one was I mentioned in the news about somebody pulling all the seats off in the train, and I wanted to see that. But some people might also send fun things like this picture. Some people seem to have a big collection of this sort of stuff to be able to put on when the occasion demands. Skype. It's been around for a long time, and most people know what you use it for. It's usually used for voice and video calling, especially overseas where it's become so cheap to use these sort of apps for voice and video calling. It does do chat, but most people don't use it for that. It's pretty clear to use. It's available on Android, on iPhone, on iPad, on other tablets, on computer. They've been experimenting now with use of these bots where you can talk to software in a conversation and get what you want. These two screenshots of Skype, the first one shows the Minions there. That's a little movie that I got from Skype itself. Their little emojis, when people receive them, they're actually animated, and that's my picture of a rose. The second screenshots of video calling. Most people don't use video calling. It uses up a lot more of your data, and if you see that person every day, you probably don't want to talk video calling. Here's some of the bots. There's a list on the left hand picture showing some to choose one. I tried this sports one. I asked it, do you do Australian sport? But it said I didn't understand. Answer yes or no. So it doesn't have a great vocabulary. I noticed this one called Roobot that said it could search the shopping universe to find any product you're looking for at the price you want. Let's chat. And also tried this one called Jessie Humani, which is just a bit like an adventure. She's got a problem in her life and you've got to help her solve it. She has a real smarty way of talking. So here's the dealio. I just got super fired. I'm about to lose my apartment and I haven't smushed faces with someone in like a century. You and me are going to turn it all around. You in? Facebook Messenger. Facebook could always do messaging and video chat. Now they've made a separate app so that people who don't want to use Facebook can use this and talk to their friends without actually using Facebook itself. It's hugely popular. if you have Facebook, you'll find all your contacts and people are already there. It's easy to use if you get a bit of help. It's got free stickers and effects, not so many paid ones as some of the other ones. And you can do voice and video chat. And Facebook things always look fairly good because the people include their picture in it. And the second one, I'm using the chat and also sending pictures just like any other chat item. This is the friends list and the last conversation. So you can just pick up a conversation from where you ended last time. It's got some mask you can put on your face when you do video. Maybe after a while you get sick of it. Or you can even look like this. It didn't work on every device for me. I found with my Android didn't get the little menu across the bottom and I couldn't put a mask on. Snapchat. This is a real fun thing that's popular with young people. You can create fun videos and pictures and save them yourself. You don't even have to send them. You can just use it as a creation tool. When you send snaps to people, they disappear in a set time, maximum 10 seconds, which makes it a kind of fun thing. You don't want people necessarily saving stuff when you've been silly. You'll definitely need help. It's a funny thing, but I think it's on purpose. People want to be able to say, how did you do that? And then they can tell you. It's got a really clever face recognition, and you can put all sorts of video filters on your face. The first picture here I've got is just with stickers. The stickers are what they call geofenced. In other words, it knows where you are, and like that Bondi Beach one, will only be available in probably Sydney or Australia. If you use the masks you can put on a face like this, you can't really pick what's available at the time. It switches them around, and other people might have different ones to you, and people in different countries might have different ones to you. This is the one I got on this particular day. Like this, the rainbow vomit, and these other two you might notice, especially the second one, they change the shape of your face and your eyes, and you get whiskers, and you can talk.
Hello, I'm going to go to Blacktown. Who wants to come with me? Okay, that sounds very nice, Nikki. Yay! Friends!
And you can even save those things to send on some other media platform, messaging platform. Line, I don't use this very much, but my brother has used it, so he encouraged me to use it. It's fairly simple to use, and it does the usual text, voice, and video. It has lots of extra apps, like dozens of them. Some of them are makeup for girls and things like that, or toys, or games, or special camera that can make certain effects. Not that popular in Australia. It also can exchange your words for cartoon superhero writing. WhatsApp Messenger. This is hugely popular, and it's probably one of the simplest one to use. It was one of the first to come out with this messaging as an alternative to SMS. Hugely popular overseas. It's really secure. It doesn't have stickers and fancy effects and things. It has emojis, and that's about it. But it works, and it's popular, and a lot of people have it. Viber. A lot of people use this to make overseas calls, but they don't seem to also realize it can just do text and video. It has a function similar to Skype, where you can pay to make calls to actual mobiles and landline phones. It has lots of games and in-app purchases and lots of games like this. Most of the stickers cost. I paid $2.99 for Mini. All the games have in-app purchases with them. Android messages. This is a new idea from Google. This used to be called Google Messenger, but they're trying to make a specialized messenger that works on all Android in a similar way to SMS, where you won't need to log in. It's a bit complicated so far, and it seems to split off the ones with pictures from the other ones and make like a different person out of it. But it's an interesting job. It would save all this logging in. They need to get the cooperation of the phone companies and all the people who make apps and devices. Google Hangouts. This is fairly simple to use. It doesn't have a lot of fancy effects, uncomplicated. It's well known for having video chatting to 10 or more people at a time if you've got that amount of bandwidth. These two versions here are an Android on the left and an iPhone version on the right of exactly the same thing. It works on both of those. It's not very complicated. It got a bit of a bad rap originally because it was connected with Google+, which a lot of people didn't like. Kik Messenger. I just put this one in for the sake of completeness. This one has quite a bad reputation. It's been linked with child exploitation, bad behavior on the internet, even a murder. It's hugely private, encrypted from end to end. You don't have to give your details to have an account, so it doesn't try to verify you. Even the FBI, it said, couldn't even look at what you've been up to. But then again, too much privacy means that people misbehave. It's popular in the US apparently. Anyway, it's one of the ones that you can test out pretty easily because when you make an account and you've got no friends, it's got a bot that you can talk to and practice on it, which is kind of good really, although it's probably part of their process of getting to know you. It's got lots of bots and things to talk to. Pink sparkles. It's to talk to you. Start chatting. Well, you don't really know who that person is. Memes, pictures that you can add comments to. Today's viral videos. It has lots of other things in it too to keep you busy on it. And that's the end. I hope you learned something and you might want to try out some of the more interesting ones of these. Thank you. Bye.